And hello, everyone. Mark Newstater with eXp Realty. It's another week of the real estate show, and I'm joined as always. Well, I shouldn't say as always. Really, Natalie, you've been here a couple of weeks. How are you liking things so far? This whole new Facebook, YouTube, live stuff.
It's good. It takes a little getting used to be honest, but it's been good.
That's good. Jaden, you're old hat at this. We've been doing this a few years already.
Yeah, I'm the as always in the group, and I'm happy. It's good to see you again.
Thank you.
It looks like you may have gotten a haircut.
Yes, yes, and for people who don't know my level of cheapness, my wife is my hair cutter, and I had to nag for weeks and weeks, and here it is.
Very
looks
nice. Looks
looks
good.
awesome.
Thank you.
Looks awesome. Well, as you know, I don't have that problem, but I can appreciate that haircuts are not cheap nowadays, right?
Totally. Yeah.
All right.
Try being a
So
woman.
exactly, that's a whole other issue that we won't talk about right now. Well, see, we save so much on my lack of haircuts that Natalie can spend it on her hair. It's a
There you
win-win.
go.
It
It's a
averages out.
win-win.
That's a good household. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. All right, folks, let's get to our weekly stats, and the craziness continues. When we look at our new listings of detached at 137 and the sales of 192, that's 140% sale to new listing ratio. Like, if you had ever wanted to list your home outside of spring 2022 in the last 10 years in Calgary, this would be the time. Like, you're let's just stop here for a second. Let's go back to this other screen. So let's just talk about this for a second. Let's logistically say, okay, let's say you list your home mid-December. Okay, why would you ever want to do that? Well, number one, people that are coming out, there's still sales happening, not to the degree we saw them last year, but there's still sales happening, and they're serious buyers. You are not getting out of the car when it's minus 20 to be looky-loos. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is you can still restrict showings over the holiday season, right? So there is a common thread that, hey, we understand you're not going to be showing your house on Christmas or Boxing Day, blah blah blah. So there's flexibility there, because you want to take a look at those stats again, because I mean, check that out, right? Like, everything that's hitting the market is selling. So days on market stayed at 40, price reduced to 135, right around where we were last week. Active detached now under 1,400. Again, that does not include pendings. I'm going to show you the number with pendings on the next screen. And then our total active, again, doesn't include pendings under 3,000 as well at 2788. Let me just move my mouse here so I can actually do this properly. So now when we look at last year at the same time, yeah, sales are down, but so are new listings, like 22% week over week, year over year, just under 20%. And then look at our active listings, 21% down. But the actual reality of it is to have total active listings of it's like 900 less than it was last year at this time, same week. 900 less listings. Like, we have 3,383 listings in Calgary, including pendings, for a city and a metro area of 1.3 million people. It's pretty crazy, pretty crazy. And there you see the 40 days on market. So, Jaden, anything happening on the interest rate side of things?
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen fixed rates come down this week. So we on that fixed high ratio, which is less than 20% down. We're down below 5% again, which is great. And so one of the things that I want to talk about a little bit is I was talking about it with my cousin who's a broker out in BC. And it's the lag effect of what the Bank of Canada is doing, right? So
Yeah.
it was about 6, 8 months ago that they did their first rate hike of a quarter point. And we're starting to see that in our inflation, right? So inflation was up around 8.5% at its peak. We're down closer to 6% based on the latest numbers, which tells me in December, December 7th, I believe it is, when they're doing their next rate decision, we're likely looking for either a minuscule rate hike at either less than 0.5%, I would say, probably a quarter percent, or maybe no rate hike at all. What's happening here is that we're seeing the impact of a quarter point hike that happened 8 months ago. Just wait until the extra 1.5, 2.5% hits there,
Mm.
and it all comes at once, right? So I really think that we might see one more rate hike this year, but we're starting to see the downward curve of that, where we're going to have a significant negative impact on our economy that is going to push rates down. I think we're insulated from that slightly in Alberta, in that the oil and gas continues to be strong, and the housing market is as you guys know very well, is strong because people are saying nuts to this. I can't afford to live in Toronto. I
Yeah.
can't afford to live on Vancouver Island or Vancouver. My boss doesn't care where I work from. The lifestyle in Calgary is fantastic. Let's move out to Alberta.
Yeah, 100%. And we continue to see that both in actual experience and anecdotal. I mean, if you look at what a $500,000 or $600,000 purchase, I'm dealing with a client right now from Toronto, he's looking up to $650,000. Well, if you plug, even with the price decreases in Toronto, I would have to think you'd still be at $1 million. So even at a 4.99 interest rate, man, you're still living the high life in Calgary, right?
Absolutely, and I think there's just over the next 6 months we're gonna. I think we're very close to the worst in terms of rates. So I think we're going to start seeing the other side of this relatively soon.
Yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, and also, I mean, if you're looking at, because I have clients right now that are their mortgage is renewing in February, so that might be good timing, at least better than it was maybe 2 months ago, right?
Well, absolutely, and with those clients we talk about, definitely don't renew with your bank for 5 years.
Yeah.
And if you are going to do that, go with the variable and just ride this wave out.
Okay, so one thing I do want to talk about is pinch points. So I read an article yesterday on one of the news feeds talking about variable rates have now reached, I think it's called the pinch point. Is that correct, Jaden? Can you tell people what that is?
Oh no, it's you've pulled me off of it with pinch point. There's another word for it.
Yeah.
But basically what it is that if you are in a traditional static variable payment, that they can only change the mix between principal and interest so much before you have to raise your payments. So
Right.
a lot of my clients are in what's called an adjustable, so the payments are fluctuating anyway. But there
Right.
are some people who, if you came in with a TD, for instance, that does a variable static, and you only had put 5% down, and you did it in the spring, there's a possibility that they're going to have to actually increase your payments, because if they don't, you're actually owing more in your house than what it's worth.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Right.
All makes sense. Just another reason to talk to Jaden, right? Because you want to get into the right product for yourself. So, all right,
absolutely.
that's good. Thanks, Jaden. Really appreciate that. Great information. I hate to admit it, but it's now my pinch point is American Thanksgiving. So happy American Thanksgiving to all our American friends out there. I always say, please don't decorate the home before American Thanksgiving. Like, please, for the love of God, please don't do that. So it's now American Thanksgiving, and Natalie, we talked about what we were going to talk about. You're going to talk about today, and you talked about holiday decorating. So
Yes.
all right, this is you just tell me when to go.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, it is American Thanksgiving, so the countdown to Christmas is on. 'Tis the season to fill your home with holiday spirit, and here are some decorating tips to jumpstart your holiday season. Decorate your tree to fit the overall theme of your space and whatever you're trying to show to people how you feel about Christmas. Choose ornaments that have significance or opt for a specific style. In our house, we have a running fight. It's either gold and red one year, or I like the new, like the blues and the bronzes, but my girls flatly hate it. So we've actually come up with a solution that we flip it every other year. So I get the stylish the one year, and then we go more traditional the next year. So this year is red and gold. The front door, you want to create a festive welcome at your front door. You can use, with a wreath and a holiday doormat, Christmas greens. Greenery inside and out for decorative reasons is a really timeless way to decorate for the holidays, and it brings warmth and beauty into your space. Your mantle. Mantle is a big one, and we're so excited we have a mantle now and we can actually decorate it. You want to make it magical with fresh boughs and candles, twinkle lights. You can have your favorite little pieces. Some people will do on the hearth or the mantle, they'll put those little Christmas, the Christmas villages. They look really cute on there.
They are cute. I have to admit, even as a Grinch, they are cute.
Yeah, they are very cute. Okay, so now we're going on to the table. So decorating your table for Christmas dinner is a very big thing. You want to bring in old and new decorations, add natural elements like pine cones and dried cranberries and green sprigs. Setting a table is like a backdrop, and it's a mood for an event and creates a sense of warmth. Next thing to look at is the festive drinks station, which is always sort of a nice idea. So, I know. So you have a beverage station like a bar cart or a console table or something where you can have, just regular beverages, alcoholic drinks or eggnog, whatever. You can also do a hot cocoa station. A lot of people like that, especially if there's kids. Just really makes people feel welcome when they're in your home. And, lastly, it's just playing Christmas music and getting into the spirit of things. And if you're really good at it, sing along and do, a big round of Christmas carols. We don't do a lot of that in this house.
We have not. Yeah, we have not. All right.
And that is it.
That is really good. I like some of those looks. If our house looked like that, which I'm sure will look even better, I would be very pumped with that whole thing. Thank you, Natalie. All right, so here's a little bit of an update on our events. So we still have Glow going on at the Nutrien Event Center. I will say, if you're heading down to Stampede Grounds for any purpose at all, I was just there for a Stampede committee meeting the other day. With the construction of the BMO Center, that has decreased a lot of the on-site parking. So if you're going there, let's say for this Glow event, and there happens to be a Calgary Wranglers or Calgary Hitmen game, or like a Flames game, you will either want to get there super early, not go during game times, or take transit would be my strong recommendation, because parking has been significantly impacted. And then we got that Candy Cane Gala. We have the free skating. I was actually talking to my friend Brian, who's one of the owners of New York Fries, and on Monday at our Stampede meeting, or Tuesday, and he said it's going absolutely fantastic. So check out details on that. And then Zoo Lights, sorry, I should have X'd out the 26th. So obviously Zoo Lights is going on. So there we go. There's another weekly real estate update for this week. Jaden, super interesting interest rate news. And I guess we'll just have to see what the next announcement says, hey?
Yeah, that's right. We'll touch base early December, but I would be a little bit more comfortable going into the holidays that we're not going to see a huge oversized rate hike that might take a couple of presents out from underneath your tree.
Yeah, exactly. And so for Natalie and I, if you have some interest in just finding out what a market evaluation would look like for your home in this current market, I'm going to post the link below once we're done the live, so you can book a call right into our calendar and we can get you an updated home value. And then if you're considering selling, we can discuss options. You can talk to Jaden, things like that. So that is about it for this week. Good job, everybody. And we'll see you all in 7 days. Well, Natalie, I'll see you in a minute here, but Jaden, actually, sorry. Next week we are away, so it'll just be our market stats. We'll update it on Facebook